Hey y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Brandon Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm Brandon Yvonne. Here at my channel, y'all already know we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This particular video, we were talking about our favorite show. Nah, not favorite. I'm being sarcastic. Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday night. Sensation, y'all. It's the season 9, episode 12. Shady Now, Sunny Later. Child, let's get into this review before we get into it. Please, y'all, help y'all girl out. Hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And get myself situated, y'all. A comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of the episode. What I'm impressed. And share the video where you like to share your content. We see TikTok going RIP to TikTok. So we can't share there, child. But I'm sure we got plenty more apps we can share too. Okay? Tag me if you share it. Anyway, let's get into this review. Also, I know some of y'all said my videos are not popping up in algorithm. So that's why I really would appreciate the likes, trying to get back into the algorithm. But yeah, I was like, you know what, Saturday night, I did want to go to bed because I came home for dinner with my family. That's a whole nother story. You know when you learn you just should not do certain things with your family anymore. Yeah. Anyway, and I was like, part of me just want to go to bed at this point, but then part of me was like, let me go on and watch Love and Marriage Huntsville and do this review because I got so much schoolwork to do already. Like this, we only had 1 week of school so far. Thank God we off Monday. Thank you God for MLK Day. Okay. However, like school about to get busy. Like I need to jump in. I need to get it popping. So I said, if I get this video out the way, I will feel much better about the situation. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into this review. The episode was decent. It was decent. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode down to the comments. Okay. So, anywho, so I'm trying to remember how this episode started, child. I lost my train of thought. Oh, Miss Nell. So Miss Nell and her family, her Chris Fletcher, her son Lance, Chris eventually came, and her daughter Kayla. They all went down to look at the venue for the where they're going to have the vow renewal ceremony, and we did see a preview for that for next week. Thank God. I think the season's about to end. Because this is episode 12. I'm wondering, is next week the season finale? Does anybody know? I kind of want to look it up right now. Y'all want to? Let's just look it up, child. Let's just look it up. Let's see. You know, we might as well just know, right? I say, if you already know, though, let me know in the comments, child, because I'm ready. We ready to wrap this season up. We're ready to wrap it up. I don't see. So, but yeah, y'all let me know if y'all know in the comments. How many more episodes do we got? This is dang near torture at this point. Like the show is still good, but certain things like I'm just ready to wrap it up. I'm just ready to wrap it up, and I'm just ready to get to this reunion. Okay, so anyway, and I'm ready for Ready to Love. Anywho, so they look at the wedding venue. Miss Karen showed them the venue. Looks good. I did notice that Miss Nell and her daughter Kayla had on their pink scrubs. I'm assuming they came down straight from the babysitting place that Nell owns and came to look at the venue. And then later on, when they go to the graveyard, to the cemetery, we see Kayla has on the pink scrubs again. So I said, well, she was working down to the babysitting place as well. So anywho, I forgot the name of Miss Nell's babysitting company. So they were sitting and talking and say, okay, Kayla, girl, you're going to do the flowers. Lance's supposed to do the DJ, but then he felt like Chris Jr. could be a better fit because he does music. So they was like, okay, Chris, you're going to do the DJing, or find a DJ. So they was like, okay, Lance, what you about to be doing? So Lance said he going to organize a trip down to the cemetery where Miss Nell's mom, Betty, is buried. Because he feel like it's needed and it's time. So Miss Nell said, you know, she knows she needs to do this. This is a really hard time for her, time of year. So her mom passed away on her anniversary. So the closer it gets, the harder it gets for her. Y'all, I do have my fireplace on because I'm freezing. So I would try to make sure I talk louder than that. Anywho, so Miss Nell got emotional about that, and they're gonna go down to the graveside. Okay. So the next scene, we do see Trish take her kids to one of those like bouncy places. They call them different things in different cities. Like the one I think we have here is called Sky Zone. So anyway, but you could do all the things, play in the ball pit, trampolines, all that. So she played with her kids. They sat down. She said, "I want to make sure you guys are good. How are you guys doing? You guys are good. I finally filed for the divorce, and how y'all feeling with the family dynamics?" And so the son Xavier said that he could tell there's a little bit of tension or something going on, like a little beef going on. And Trish was like, "Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. We trying to take care of it or whatever." So then she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna get a divorce." So Xavier's like, "Well, I thought y'all was already divorced, but then I found out y'all not." And so then she was like, "Well, how you find that out?" And so I guess he said he found out through his dad, Marquez. So then she was like, "Yeah, we got." I don't know if she said they got it notarized or something, but she told the kids, and so they asked her, "Do you want to get married again?" And are you going to get married again? And so she was like, "Not anytime soon." And she was like, "Well, just not right now, not soon. Like I want to, work on myself, figure some things out, work on my communication, and all this stuff, and eventually I'll get there." So he's like, "Okay, yeah, I understand." And side note, Trish and Trisha's kids, like what is this? I forgot the girl's name, but them kid, you can see Marquez and Trisha all up in their faces. I mean, dead on them. And the boy Xavier sound like Marquez. So I was like, "Oh, they look just like their parents." So anyway, um, she was at that little scene with the kids. Moving on. We ain't got to dwell on that. So then the next thing we have is Miss Nail invited Trish over to her house. Miss Nail, you was looking good, girl. Go ahead on. So Trish came over, and Miss Nail had a little sushi spread and some vegetable platters and whatnot. Side note, they got them Fletcher's got a big old house. When they panned out to the house, I said, I thought it was like a neighbor's house, but then I realized it was all one house. I was like, "Oh, they got a huge house." So anyway, so Miss Nell didn't waste no time. I don't know if it was editing or what, but she got right into it. She said, "So, they talking about you and Martell, right? That's what everybody's talking about, right?" And so Miss Nell's like, "Did you go to his house? So how did it go?" So Trish said she went to his house. And Ms. Nell's like, "What y'all do? Watch a movie? Just sit there?" So she was like, actually, he wanted to talk about my mail the whole time. He kept talking about mail and the kids the whole time, and she told him like, "Yeah, you kind of messed up with that one." Something in my eye. And so then I guess he got upset and was like, "Oh, I didn't call you here for no counseling session." I want to know, what was the DMs, Trisha? Show me the DMs, because how did you get to his house? Like, okay, he looked you up once. Chris said, "Yeah, this lady just walked by me in the gym. She good enough for you." She looked good, and then you hit her up on the DMs. And then Trish, what you said, like, how did you end up at his house? Like, what was the conversation? And you was like, "Yeah, I'll come down to the house." I don't even know you, but I'll come down to the house. Yeah. Like, you guys could meet up down to the Starbucks. Like, what? I need to know, how did this happen? I need to know how we got from the DM to the house. That's what I need to know. So, Trish said they didn't do nothing. There was no intimate, no sex, nothing like that. And she feels like she made a mistake from not just saying from jump what it was from the beginning, and letting it come out the way it did now. And I agree. You should either play with Martell the way he was pointing, acting like he didn't know you, and you act like you didn't know him, or before very very beginning of when you first came on the scene, I should say, when you first came on the scene, that's when you should have explained it all. Now, part of me feels like this is a scheme, the setup created by Carlos King, because it's interesting now that we're getting to the very, towards the end of the season, and now all of a sudden we getting a straight story from Trish. And all these episodes, we getting a him and a ha and a him and a ha, and a playing games from Martell. So I feel like it all was a setup or a storyline. Like, it probably did happen, but I feel like, producers probably said, hey, don't fully tell the truth. Let's play around with it and drag it out through the season. They like to do at this show. So anyway, um, then they kind of shifted gears, and Miss Nell asked, "Okay, so Marquez and Ken, did they really get along or nah?" And she was like, "Girl, no." So then she was like, "So why haven't you signed the divorce papers all this time, girl? Like, what's going on?" And so I think in this moment, Trisha said she got them notarized or something. I don't know, or maybe Ken said I don't know. So she said, it was really hard because they were separated this whole time. She said, like, when he left, she just, they didn't have any really contact. He wanted to go find himself, and she let him go. And she was dealing with a lot in her life at the time because, remember, her parents passed away. I think she said 8 months within each, like one parent passed away, and 8 months later the other parent passed away. So she said her mom passed or went into a diabetic coma on their 38th wedding anniversary. And she, clearly didn't make it out. And then she said then her sister passed away. Her sister literally passed in her arms. She was trying to, pump life in her, give her CPR and all that. And even her daughter saw it. I think her daughter's name is Aria. And they couldn't save her. And so she said she talked to Marquez at the time. Marquez told her she was too close to her family. That's such an insensitive thing to say when someone is going through what Trish was going through. I don't even understand how he can fix his mouth to say that. Like, I don't really get it, but that's Marquez for you, right? Anyway, trying to adjust this stuff. So I got a new monitor that I hooked to my laptop, so I can see to do my schoolwork better. But I'm not using it. But now it's taking up space. Anywho, so then Trish did get emotional about that, and she started crying, and so she was just she was dealing with so much I think what happened was, from what I'm getting from it, is that when Trish and Marquez separated, Marquez was out there living life, like she said, doing his own thing, finding himself. And she was going through all this grief, and he wasn't there. So I think for her, just the separation was enough for her. And she probably wasn't thinking about the divorce part of it. But girl, now like enough time has passed. Like, if you don't like this man so much, you should be in a hurry to get them papers taken care of. Like, I don't get it. I don't fully get it. Like, I get what was going on at the time. I just don't get what's going on now. If that makes sense to y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments though. So, Miss Nell, Trisha got emotional. Miss Nell, consoled her, and Trisha said she don't want to do this anymore. Like, keep having that conversation. And so Miss Nell's like, it's okay. I totally understand. My mom passed away right here in my house. Like, I totally went through what you went through. I understand. And so, of course, Miss Nell can resonate because of, what happened with her mom and the way her mom passed. And she said, I went through the same thing you did. And my mom passed here. And I feel like, if people don't talk to me, they don't bother me, they don't mess with me, I'm good. And Trisha was saying the same thing about herself. She tries not to, just keep to herself, because then she don't got to worry about her emotions and nobody else. And so they seem to really bond over that. I guess they kind of felt like they might have had similar personalities, and Miss Nell kind of could see her reflection a bit in Trisha, which was interesting. And Miss Nell was saying that she could go from 0 to 100 real quick, and after her mom passed, she was crying a lot, and she missed having her mom because her mom was the only person that she would really listen to. And so Trish was like, that's me too. Like she was agreeing, like, I'm the same way, because Miss Nell was saying people think I'm mean, people think this and that. And Trish was like, same thing. And so I think they could kind of see each other, see their reflections in each other, and they kind of bonded going through similar things. And Miss Nell did say in the confessional that Trish went through a lot and she's handled it well, and so she feels like she's a trooper. And Trish has went through a lot. I remember her talking about her family passing, but I didn't remember like all, mom, dad, sister passing like that, and that close of time together. That's a lot. And then your husband left, to go find himself. That's a lot. So then the next scene I think we get is Ken goes to talk to his friend Will. Does Will got a barbershop or something? Anywho, And you hear them say, "What's the tea?" I was like, look at these men getting big old grown men talking about what's the tea. Anyway, so Ken basically having this conversation that he keep having about Trisha, about how he's tired of hearing about the whole Martell thing, and then when he tries to have a conversation with her, and she's not understanding that the issue is with her, and he's tired of the whole Marquez thing, and he doesn't understand why they haven't got a divorce, and they got the papers notarized, and um the Will guy's like, yeah, like, do you think they still love each other or what? And he was like, this is gonna be a tough question. And so Kim doesn't think they still love each other. I don't think so either. I don't think that. I think she despises Marquez. I think she just don't want to even. She don't want to have no communication with Marquez. Is what I get from Trisha. But anyway, um, so this scene, I was just like, ugh, I'm over Ken at this point. Like, my thing with Ken is, yeah, you're a nice guy. You helping with the kids is commendable. It's great. But then now it's at the point, but then you're also giving Captain Sable Pro. And then I don't know, it's giving like, I want to be the hero. It's very much like a hero complex or something. Like, and he's talking about, oh yeah, I keep pouring in other people and giving myself, and then there's nothing left for me. She don't give nothing back, and I understand all the things she's been through and all this stuff, and I try to be mindful and helpful, but then sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I just need to leave because I can't take this anymore. And I was like, Ken, do you want to leave or not? Like, do you want to stay or you want to go? What you want to do? What you want to do? Like, because you can go. Like, I don't understand. So he feels like Trish is not pouring into him the way he's pouring into her. And I feel like, well, that's unhealthy. Like, if this is what you're saying is truly going on, then why are you in this situation? Because you're hurting yourself. And even his friend was like, well, I hate to see you in a situation like this. Like, you're always giving yourself, and then you're not getting that return. And it just sounds like one of those people who want to try to help and save everybody, but then they don't want to take care of themselves. And then they get mad and resentment that you're not um helping them when they're in need. And I recognize this a lot because I used to struggle with this myself. Like, not on the level of Ken, like I want to save people's families and stuff like that. Not like that, but I always want to like give myself, like help people as much as I can. And then when people don't like give that same energy back to me, I would, have a little bit of resentment. But then I had to learn, like, okay, like I don't need to burn myself out helping others, right? And then I can't expect for people to do for me what I do for them. Like, what I choose to do for them needs to be out the kindness of my heart, needs to be the energy I want to give out, needs to be what I want to do, but not because I expect them to do that in return for me. Yeah, of course, that would be nice if they did, but everybody's not going to do that. And then I had to learn to have different seasons of my life, right? There's some times where I'm going, energy. I'm, doing this and that, talking to friends here and there and all that. But then there's sometimes where I don't have the energy for that, and I need to, take some self care, take some rest. So I had to learn to, balance my life better and make sure I was taking care of myself and not worrying about other people and what other people got going on, because it's that's just not good. And I feel like, what are kids' motives, right? What are kids' motives? Like, I didn't have any ulterior motives, but I feel like maybe I just was like, oh, I just want to be there. I want to be that person that's there for everybody. But realistically, you can't be that person, right? You can't. You just physically can't. You could try to help as many people as you can, but you can't be there for everybody. It's like you can't save everybody, right? So anyway, moving on. Like I said, they're seeing, who cares? Okay, Ken. Next scene we get is when Miss Nell and her family went down to the gravesite. This was so sad. Like, when I rewatched the episode, because I always watch the episodes twice before I do the review, I just had to fast forward through that part because it was really, really sad. Like, I was fighting back tears. I might have shed a few. Um I'm not gonna even repeat everything Miss Nell said. She was down there on the ground crying. Chris, he kind of kneeled down there, said something as well. Lance said he wished he would have been there more. He was kind of caught up in his own life, and it's just hard, right? When that matriarch in the family passes away, or whoever, moms, dad, grandparents, it's hard. It's really hard. And then this scene also made me think about my own family and how we deal with grief, because we do not do that. What they did in that scene, we do not. In my family, like, we don't go down to the graveside and put flowers down, and everyone go down there and have a moment and all that. We do not do that in my family. Like, we handle grief very, I guess you would say, untraditionally. Like, we don't really have too many funerals. Like, they had a funeral for my great grandmother, but that was in Wichita, Kansas, and like my Wichita, Kansas family and my here in California family is very different. So yeah, we don't even, like, my grandma, we did not have a funeral for her or a memorial or anything. I think my aunt was going to make obituaries, but she did. I don't think she even ended up doing that. Now, my grandma did have a celebration of life for herself, literally her last birthday before she passed. I always say she must have knew she was about to wrap it up because I was like, dang, she really had that celebration of life, and then she just went, literally, like, let me see, her birthday was June, and then she passed that following March. Is that 9 months or so? Like, that was like, dang. But I mean, she went all out. I mean, she had that, like, paid big money for this party, had a big hall, catered, decorations. My sister helped her get a comedian there, and I mean, I know I gave her like 1,500 towards it. Like, she pays so much money to have this big old celebration of life. My brother walked her in, like, it was a big old to do, which I thought was beautiful. And that's all my grandma wanted. Because she always was the type where she didn't want people like crying over her and falling all out and all that. And so, um, I don't know. We don't like do too many. Like, we'll go to other people's funerals, but we don't really have funerals like that here. Now, when my cousin passed in the 90s, and he was only like 23, they did have a memorial service for him. They did do that. um but yeah, hasn't, I don't know, my family's kind of, we don't do like we might do a trip to commemorate somebody, or like in memory of, like for sometimes I think my family, we would go, because everybody in my family liked to go to the casino, including my grandma. So like we would take a casino trip on her birthday after she passed, or on the anniversary of her death, or something like that. But we never do, like, let's lay flowers down, let's go do this, like how people do those big, I don't want to say big to dos, however people grieve and do their thing is fine. I'm just letting you guys know how my family is, but y'all let me know how y'all, what your family does in the comments, because everybody is different, right? um but yeah, we just never been to like big, like, funeral, falling out, or going to the grave side kind of thing. We've never done. We just never been into that kind of thing. But I think that's nice that people do that, because that's healing for them, right? If that's the way you need to heal, that's the way you need to grieve. I grieve. Um, I say go for it, right? As long as you're going through that grief process, which can be very difficult, right? Then it's good. Anyway, moving on from that scene, we get the final scene with the bachelorette party, or whatever you want to call it. So Destiny has the girls at some venue, and they're gonna be doing some kind of body painting, and they got a female model and a male model. The male model, his body was looking good. So Destiny, now I saw it was very much daylight outside, and I thought this was like a nighttime bachelorette party event. Now, is this gonna go from the evening to the nighttime? Because I was like, why is this giving broad daylight? So anyway, Kimmy came. Oh well, Trisha came first, and Trisha and Destiny had a little conversation, and Trisha said she wasn't. Or First, Destiny was trying to tell her, girl, you're going to get body painted. And Trish was like, girl, no, I'm not. So she was like, Trish says she not drinking because she, how she can get. And so Destiny's like, oh, they say that's because you get a little rah-rah when you be drinking, girl. And so she was like, is that what the people say? And so then Trish was like, well, you want to talk Destiny because, you was down to your Madonna relaunch and you was getting it popping with Miss Now. And she's like, I only had one glass of wine there. She's like, well, that conversation got, it got elevated. I was scared. And so Destiny was like, why was you scared? Like, it was just a conversation. She was like, no, me and, Miss Nell are good. And Destiny says she know what to expect with Miss Nell now and blah, blah, blah. Now, I did say last week that, Destiny girl, you was doing too much. Like, you can't tell Miss Nell who to be friends with. And I still agree and stand by that. However, Miss Nell don't even know Sunni that well, so I'm kind of like, girl, why you need her there? The reason why Sunni got to be there because it's an all-cast event for the ladies. It's an all-ladies cast event, right? So that's why Sunni got to be there. It's not because Miss Nell wants her there so bad because she know her, that's her new best friend. It's because producer said this where you got to be, Sunni, at this time for this show, okay? Anyway. But either way, it ain't worth Destiny being upset about. So everybody came in, Kimmy, Trisha, then Mel came in. I thought the energy shifted a bit when Mel came in. Was it just me? So she's like, what y'all doing in here? What y'all doing? And so they was like, yeah, we gotta do some body pain. So they offered her a drink. She's like, oh no, I just ate. I was like, what they got to do with drinking something? So anyway, she's like, and plus, and so teacher's like, well, she ain't gonna be doing no body painting because she got that white on. She's like, no, but no, I can't paint anyway because I'm gonna do something with the kids later tonight. So, I can't do that. And so they was like, okay. So there was this awkward, of course. So then Kimmy was like, let me get the scene popping. I gotta produce this season. So Kimmy was like, I feel like when we're at these events, it's very awkward. Everybody's just sitting around until somebody breaks the ice or something. And so Trish was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be the one to break the ice, girl. And so then Kimmy's like, have you talked to Mel? Are you guys good? She whispered to her. She was like, and Trisha quickly said no. And so Kimmy's like, okay, you want to talk to her right now? And I was like, Kimmy. And so I was like, sit back. So then Mel was like, Kimmy and Trisha, excuse me, yeah, I want to take care of this right now. So then she addressed the issue with Trisha. She was like, so do you have a problem with me? And so Trisha was like, no, I don't. And so then Kimmy was like, it's funny that she say that because, she told me the other day that she had a problem with her. And I was like, Kimmy, what are you doing? What are you doing? So then they get into this whole back and forth that Trisha explains, like, I don't like the comments you was making down to my kids' graduation celebrations and barbecues and whatnot. It feels like you was being messy and shady. So Mel was like, well, if I'm messy and shady, child, everybody messy and shady because I'm only going off the information I was privy to, just like everybody else in here, and everybody else is commenting on your situation. And so then Trisha was like, okay, but you said like you feel well, then Kimmy was like, yeah, she did tell me she didn't like the comments. She didn't say she had a problem with you. She disliked you. She did, but she did tell me she didn't like the comments you made. And I feel like Kimmy, like, you got it started and then you was trying to mediate it, but it was, girl, no. So then Kimmy gonna sit up in her confessional and say, like, yeah, they needed to have this conversation. They both need to take accountability, but I hope they can get it together before Miss Nell comes because she'll need to walk into all this energy. Like, girl, don't get it started and then want them to quickly make up because you can't control their makeup after you done did all this. Oh, Kimmy. So anyway, Trisha was like, specifically the comment you made about, oh yeah, they're still, me and Marquez are still in love with each other. I didn't like that. And so Mel was like, it was a joke. When they replayed the scene, I was like, what is Mel? Well, did Mel have a joking tone? She didn't have a necessarily joking tone, but she did say it to Trish like, the way to me she said it to Trish as if they were like good girlfriends already. Like one of your friends would, like one of your homegirls was like, oh, I think y'all still love each other anyway, child. Like that. Like But see, Trish don't know Mel well enough, and Mel don't know Trish well enough for the way Mel said it. So like I get the way Mel said it. I don't think she meant it like seriously. I don't think it was a full on joke either. You know, every joke got a little bit of truth in it anyway. I think she did say it in somewhat of a playful manner, like if that was her good girlfriend, like if you were talking to your friends, like girl, you know you still be texting your ex anyway, girl, like that. So by the time Trish was already mad and on 10 and already through with Marquez in that scene anyway. So I could understand Trish is upset as well. I don't think that Mel had malicious intent at all. Um, so Trish is like, it wasn't a laughing matter for me. And so they kind of were going back and forth, and Trisha's like, okay, so we good? We understand each other. And so Mel, so Trish is like, oh yeah, we good. So then, but Trish had a bit of an attitude, and this is the part of Trish I didn't like because what was the attitude about? Like there was no need for the attitude. And so um I don't know if that attitude came in because Mel didn't take accountability. Now the part of Mel I didn't particularly like in this scene because then Mel's like, no, I don't have an understanding, and I don't understand why, you know, she's coming at me with this attitude. Like, I don't even know you like that. You don't even know me like that. Like, yeah, I invited you down to have mimosas with Melody and to the Black Business Expo want to be with the mimosas with Melody and all this. And yeah, I said, let's invite Trish and Ken. But to be honest, your 1,000 don't fit into my life like that. And so then Trish said something. She's like, I'm talking to Kimmy. And so she was like, and Trish was like, I'm weirdos here. I can talk. And so they was going back and forth. Trish did not back down from Mel at all. But they was going back and forth. Destiny was like, okay, I need y'all to bring it down. Like, this is Miss Nell's event. She don't need to walk into all this energy. Mel was like, Miss Nell not even here yet. And she's like, it's going to be, my energy is going to be good when Miss Nell come in. I'm going to be fine. And so Trish is like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And then she's like, it's just waste of breath, the energy. We don't even need to do all this. And something Mel said, start cursing. Mel was getting mad. And then Trisha said something, well, it's going to be two bees here arguing. And so Mel said something in her confessional, like Trisha, you know, don't even know her that well. Like she is not the one to be coming at her like that. My issue with Mel in this scene is the lack of accountability. Like Mel could have easily just said, okay, you know what, girl, I'm sorry. I was joking with you. But if that was not, you know, a joke to you, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say, like, I'm sorry. Like she could have easily said, I'm sorry and squashed it because you did say it. And then she said everybody else is joking and being shady. Because Mel Singh was like, okay, well, if I'm shady, then everybody else is shady. And so then Trish said, no, that's no. In my opinion, that's a no. Yes, everyone has commented on Trisha and Marquez and all that drama they have going on. I haven't heard anyone say that they're still in love with each other. And when Mel was making those comments, Trisha was already heated and going back and forth with Marquez. And so then she's like commenting on it in the moment. And I'm not saying Mel's wrong for that because everyone has commented on it. And I don't think she meant it in a malicious way. I think she was playing, you know, saying it in a somewhat of a joking, not like a joke, but there was a playful tone to it, right? Um, but she could have took a little bit more accountability in the scene. Um, you know, when they brought it up at the bachelorette and said, you know, girl, my bad. Like, sorry, you know, I thought we were all joking about it, but okay, that wasn't the time to joke. Sorry, girl. Like she could have took them because like when they were like, okay, are we good? She's like, no, I'm not good. She was only not good because of Trish's energy. And then that's the problem I have with Trish because you didn't need to give all that rah energy. And that's child. Ooh, child. Okay, because this kind of relates to what I went through at this dinner. Okay, so anyway, like sometimes people be giving the rah and they don't call for all that. Like you don't need to give all that energy in a regular conversation, right? Or somebody made a mistake with you. You don't need. You can just say, hey, you know, I didn't like that you did that, and da 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 da. Like Trisha, we didn't need all that. Trisha was putting a lot of extra energy on it that was not needed, right? So after all that go back and forth, I'm thinking Miss Nell, the one about to come in because they changed the music tone. Child, it was Sunny. Hey y'all, I said, "Ooh, yeah." I was cracked. I don't know why I cracked up laughing at the part. I guess because there was so much beef and back and forth, and then the music changed. And I'm thinking like, "Oh, thank God Miss Nell about to come in." And then it was Sunny. I was like, this just went from bad to worse, child." And then they said to be continued. I was like, when is season over? Anywho, y'all let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments. It was an interesting episode, sad as well, but relatable. And that's one thing I will give Love and Marriage Huntsville. They do have things that you can talk about that you can relate to. So I'll give them that for sure. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. Young, Rich, and African, or Young, Famous, and African, y'all know the name of the show, is back. So I gotta watch that and catch up. I might try to do a review or a short or a live. I'll let y'all know. Just keep your notifications on. I need to post in the community tab just to make sure everybody knows that we are still going strong with Love. Or we're back on track with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yeah. But anyway, I appreciate y'all supporting me, and still rocking with me. It's late. It's after midnight here in Cali, so I got to go to bed, y'all. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.